Hello and welcome to episode 52 of Life is Horror. It is October. Dun, 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 dun. Halloween season. My favorite time of the year. It's time to watch a bunch of horror movies and watch, 31 Days of Horror. Anyone out there do that where you watch a Halloween based, set around Halloween horror movie every day of the month, or you got like a set list that you watch every year? Uh, any of you do that out there? Let me know. I've been doing it for the last year or two. Definitely gonna be trying to do that this year. Also, I just watched, I think, Funhouse or something, the other day, and today I went to Texas Chainsaw Massacre re-release, 50-year anniversary, screening, and so that was fun. And I also saw Never Let Go and Oddity, that was dropped on Shudder recently. So I'm going to be reviewing those two movies and doing an Alexandre Aja ranking at the end of the movies he directed, not the movies he's written. So P2 and the Maniac remake will not be on here. Yeah, so yeah, I got a lot of catching up to do. Like, it's been over a month since my last video, so I gotta catch up with, AI and Speaking of Evil, Beetlejuice 2, so many movies, and I'm sure I'm missing some. But yeah, just been busy. Been doing a lot of traveling. I've become friends with school shooters. I'm working on a script for a new movie idea. I got some ideas, and only one thing that I just said was true. You can pick which one. Um, and so yeah, a lot of shit's been happening lately. So I've been distracted, not doing this channel. But let's get into it, shall we? Let's talk about Never Let Go and Oddity. Well, I guess I usually start with horror news, but there's not really a whole lot to talk about that I want to talk about. I mean, John Carpenter came out and said he's going to be working on some Halloween video games. In what way? I don't know. The article didn't really specify. Is he going to do the music for the video games? Is he going to be helping writing it? Is he going to direct the video games for the first time? He's never done that yet. Maybe he will. Who knows? But yeah, I heard two. Am I interested in that? No, because I don't I don't play video games that often anymore. So I want movies, not video games. All right. So other than that, let's just get into the fucking movies. How about that? That's what I'm interested in. Let's get into the movies, the movie reviews. Alrighty, let's talk about Never Let Go. All right, so directed by Alexandre Aja. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his last name, but I'll go with it. Aja, Never Let Go. So this stars Halle Berry, and my internet is really slow, so bear with me. Is this PG-13 or is it rated R? I think it's rated R, and it's about a family of three, a mom and her two kids, that it seems like they're in like some post-apocalyptic world. There's no one else really around, and there's some kind of supernatural evil like haunting these woods, and they're tethered to the house. They got rope wrapped around them, and they can only go a certain distance, and they can never go out at night or they will die. That's the gist. Okay, but here's the synopsis now that it popped up. As an evil takes over the world beyond their front doorstep, the only protection for a mother and her twin sons is their house and their family's protective bond. Okay, so yeah, this kind of felt like a Hansel and Gretel type thing. These two kids just walking around the woods, and then, but and it's also it's clearly supernatural, but there's also the psychological element. Also, it's like psychological horror, and at first you're not sure if you can trust the mom. It's one of those movies where they're trying to make you like doubt the mom. Maybe she's crazy. Maybe she's making up that the whole world is destroyed. But maybe she's telling the truth. It's one of those movies. And the score of this movie was done by Rob, who did the score for Maniac. Fantastic composer. I love the score to Maniac remakes, one of the best in a very long time. And I thought the score of this movie was pretty good as well. and you get a very brief but awesome transformation sequence. But in the end, this movie just didn't really intrigue me. Like I knew where it was going. I knew whether or not the mom was telling the truth. So like that whole aspect of the story wasn't really like keeping me engaged. Like I wonder if she is telling the truth or is she full of shit. I don't know, but I just saw where the movie was going, so nothing really surprised me. There wasn't a lot of like good scares or creepy sequences in it. It just didn't really grab me that much. It unfortunately let me go. It let go of my attention. I don't know. I'm trying to be witty here. I don't have a teleprompter. Sorry, I'm trying. Um, and it's a story. Yeah, it's a story where just one of two things is happening here, and it's obvious which one is more than likely happening. One son, doubts the mom. The other one's just you know bowing down to her word, like listening. Very loyal son, believes every word and will do anything she says. And the movie ends with some questions still unanswered. I didn't, I wasn't fully satisfied at the end. Uh, I'd rather die than be in this scenario. Every time I watch movies like this, I'm like, I would just kill me, just let me die. I would rather just be dead than eat frogs, insects, and eat trees. That is just disgusting. And one thing happens in the middle of the movie that did kind of surprise me, but not enough to like make this movie awesome. But yeah, why on earth would the mom not lock the door? They have one of the kids has like sleepwalking, you know, that condition, and it's like, and you live in this world where like if you go outside at night you die, supposedly. That's what the mom's telling her kids, and she knows that one of her sons sleepwalks, so she has like a bell wrapped around his ankle. But you don't lock his bedroom door, you don't lock the front door, so you could just this could potentially happen one day. It's like that thought never crossed your mind. How did he wind up outside? You're telling me you didn't lock the door? That's stupid. Plot hole. Um, yeah, the, and these post-apocalyptic movies never address the shitting situation. Where are they shitting? Where are they wiping with? They never address it. I get it because it's gross, but still, I feel like it needs to be addressed. Where are they defecating? Um, but this movie, yeah, just like I said, it just wasn't that gripping and wasn't scary. It was kind of predictable, but it was still okay. The performances were shot well. I liked the aesthetics, the woods environment, and the way it was all lit. And the movie looked good, but you gotta have a good story with it also that's intriguing and some good creepy moments and scares, and that it kind of it lacked in that department for me. So with this movie, I would give it a wait for it, drum roll, 3 out of 5. Kind of like it. It's okay, just nothing that amazing. So next movie will be, let's see here, Oddity. This one I definitely preferred over Never Let Go, and this guy directed something else. I forget what it was called from a few years ago that I thought was just okay. I thought this was definitely the better of the two. But this movie has like some things from that movie, like props there. So it makes me wonder: is this movie set in the same universe as that other movie he directed? But what's the synopsis for this one? After the brutal murder of her twin sister, Darcy goes after those responsible by using haunted items as her tools for revenge. Okay. So, yeah, atmospheric revenge tale. And I love revenge tales. And this one has a creepy as hell wooden statue that you see on the poster and in the trailer. It's just this like wooden uh, Joe Biden looking thing. And it's just creepy to look at. And especially in the third act, once it starts to move some. But again, like once things get going, it's just another movie where you can see where it's heading. So, but it didn't exactly end at the very end, it didn't end exactly how I envisioned it would, nor how I would have wanted it to. So again, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just hard to satisfy, but this ending did not satisfy me. But the music was really chilling at times. The cinematography, very well done, and it shies away from all the money shots when it comes to the violence. It's very light on that, so don't expect bloody revenge. And there is an aftermath shot of an exploded head, so that was good. And how it got that way is never explained. What happened to that person's head? Did they like blow their brains out? I'm not sure. Um, and yeah, I would have liked more revenge. You know, a lot more people should have gotten killed, and maybe a nice surprise. I was like expecting there to be like some big twist. I don't know why. I was just looking for one the whole time. Like, what are they gonna pull in the third act? You know, I was expecting something, but not really. They didn't do anything. But there was a tent scene that was very effective. That was probably the standout sequence in the movie for me. And yeah, so this movie's about, it's supernatural. There are ghosts, and I have to wonder, why isn't Ghost Danny haunting her husband? I would. And why didn't Ollie tell Danny what he knew at the door? You know, at the very beginning, this guy walks up to the door. You don't know if he can be trusted, but he's warning her through like the peephole, the thing that, or the thing that slides open, that you know there's someone in there with you. And it's like, why aren't you being more specific and give her more information? And it's like, why are you holding back? It's for plot convenience, I guess. They establish a trap door in the movie early on. What is that for? And this big ass house that she's in, like on the second floor, they just have this random trap door thing. Like, what is that even for? I didn't get that. But yeah, atmospheric. You know, like the revenge, but could have used more revenge, more kills, a little bit more on-screen violence for me. But um, in the end, I like this one definitely more than Never Let Go. So I would give this, and it's never boring. So that's always important. So I would give this a 3.5. I liked it. It's not great, but still worth checking out. I would recommend this one. And so with that, let's get into my ranking real quick of Alexandre Aja films that he directed, not wrote. So, number 8, Oxygen. This is a Netflix thriller, and it's French, and it's all set in space in a claustrophobic, very small spaceship, or just a room in the spaceship. Like she's like stuck in this one area. I think she's lying down for most of the movie and talking to like some AI, and she has like amnesia. It's been a while since I remembered, since I've seen this, so I don't remember a whole lot. But yeah, no escape, no memory, 90 minutes to live. So great premise, but the execution could have been better. So moving on to number 7, Never Let Go. I already talked about it, so you know how I feel. Let's move on. 6, I haven't seen this one in forever, but I do remember the violence and the kills being pretty good. The woman ripping her own jaw off, and I like the premise of this movie a whole lot as well. And, you know, the fact that your reflection can do whatever to itself, and then that whatever damage and pain it inflicts upon itself happens to you also. Like, that's a cool premise. I really like that. And so, yeah, a haunted mirror movie. Number 5, Piranha 3D. Lots of gore, lots of tits, lots of fun. What's not to like about it? It's a great remake. I would put it on par with the original, but I prefer this one more just because it has so much great gore and effects in it. And I'm a gore hound, so I tend to gravitate towards films that have that. And in the severed penis. Number what? 4, Horns. I saw this movie for the first time last year or the year before, and this one was a surprise. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. This one was great. Daniel Radcliffe was excellent in it, and there's some good humor and lots of interesting visual effects. And I remember there being a twist that surprised me. I don't remember what the twist was. I don't write notes down for these rankings. Sorry, just going off of memory here. But yeah, I remember it having some kind of twists and turns in the third act and some good humor. And yeah, it was just a fun movie, never boring. And I remember there being some good gory sequences, and yeah, it was just a lot. It was pretty funny. Daniel Radcliffe, I'm not always a fan of his, but this movie I thought he was really good in. And number three, Crawl. This, I remember seeing this at the theater, talked about it in 2019, and reviewed it. Brought it up in my ranking. I think it made my like top 5 of 2019. So I'm a big fan of this movie. There's not a lot of great alligator crocodile movies out there. They're always usually very low budget or straight to Sci-Fi Channel, bad CGI films. But the CGI on these crocodiles or alligators, whatever, I forget which one it was. Whether doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato. I don't give a shit. But the CGI was pretty good in this, and the characters were excellent. And the whole father daughter, with a bad broken relationship, and then of course by the end of the movie they start to love each other again. And but you got the threat of the water on top of the creatures, and it's got some good gory sequences. They throw in some extra characters to get killed, so that's always good. And so yeah, this is another very fun movie with a great premise. Noticing a theme here: a lot of Aja films have great, interesting premises, and some of them pretty unique. And so yeah, Crawl, definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it. I would argue the best killer alligator / crocodile movie out there. And they announced recently that they are going to be working on a sequel. Number 2, Hot Tension, aka High Tension. This has a few names, I think. Switchblade Romance, something like that. A lot of different titles for this one, but I reviewed this one as well, so check that out if you want to hear my full thoughts on it. The only issue I have with this movie is the twist is problematic. It creates some questions, and it's like, well, I don't know, it just feels a little bit like a cop out, and but still a cool idea for a twist. I just feel like it's a bit of they could have done it better, but it has some excellent kills and very brutal and gory. Buzzsaw scene towards the end was awesome. Number one, number one, The Hills Have Eyes. The Lucky Ones Die First. One of my favorite remakes, top 10 favorite horror remakes. I think this one is way better than the original. I've grown to like the original a little bit more over the years, but when I first saw it, I really did not like it. But now I've warmed up to it, but I still don't think it's anywhere near as good as this one. This one is super intense, and it's one of the first few horror movies I reviewed on my channel, actually, back in 2018, and it's one of my most viewed reviews ever. This one and the sequel to the remake, for whatever reason. But yeah, it's just a lot of great intense moments, great suspense. The mutants this time are way scarier. I think K&B did the effects on the mutants, and they look very terrifying. And the score, remember that being badass and scary. And this one is just, it stands out when it comes to remakes in the 2000s. It's up there with Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Dawn of the Dead. It doesn't get praised enough. So Hills Have Eyes, that's easily my number one. And if I was going to throw in the movies he wrote, P2 and Maniac would be my next 2 movies. I love those films, and those were both directed by the same guy, Frank Cowell something. Yeah. So there you go. That's my number 1. What is your Alexandre Aja ranking? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Oddity and Never Let Go? Did you like them more than me? A lot of people love Oddity, but like I said, I liked it. Didn't dislike it, but I just thought the third act could have been a lot better. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm not sure what the next video will be. Maybe Beetlejuice 2. Maybe those stupid Blumhouse movies that keep coming out that suck. There's a lot of them. And whatever else. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. So until then, adios.